Welcome to 3 with Z with me, Rob Kosovich. This is a podcast where a couple of friends get together and discuss whatever's on their mind for the week. Joining me as always is the Alvin to my Theodore. Hey, Christian. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Rob?
Christian Z. I'm sorry.
No,
I was supposed to say the full name.
Full name.
I fumbled it.
How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing all right, man.
I just wanted to start the show today. We are having a very special guest today. He's actually been the guest on every show, but special guest for episode 9. I wanted to bring him on for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, hilarious comedian, wonderful producer, Tony Walker, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought that was beautiful. The Theodore to my Alvin, or Alvin, or whatever you said.
Well,
I thought that was beautiful.
Well, I thought you'd be our Dave.
He writes the tagline. He doesn't answer text messages, but he writes a tagline every week. That's all I
He's
do.
dedicated to his craft.
You think Dave fucked a lady chipmunk, or did he find those chipmunks and then legally adopt them so he could better exploit them to do a job?
Part of me is admiring that thought process. The second is, that's a whole topic, though. That's a whole topic.
And I'm glad it's not one of ours, because you just scared the hell out of me.
Is she dead?
She'd
Is that
have
one
to
of the
be.
Missing Mom cartoons? One of his topics was best cartoons, and I really was debating doing that. We should do that on another episode. But the Chipmunks don't have a mom, right? Like, on the show, right?
No. It's arguable if Dave is their dad. Or just
That's what I'm saying.
Their owner.
Well, he's human. He's not.
He's doing it really analytically. You're taking it way too seriously on the cartoon there. But that's one of the ones I've always worried about. Growing up, I remember I used to think there were a lot of missing moms on TV cartoons. That's a big theme.
Yeah.
In that almost right.
Well, then you
There you
have
go,
Bambi. Is that before your time, Bambi?
No, but
I mean, the mother dies in the beginning of Bambi.
That was people used to say that was the most traumatic part of some people's childhood was seeing
Sure.
that.
It's
I
pretty
would
tough.
go with that, yeah.
But now look at television the children are watching and it's nothing. My sister got mad at my niece and nephew. I babysit quite often. Have you ever seen? I know you're not around children that much, Rob, or
no.
Tony is though. With that, have you seen them watch freeform like YouTube videos where like it's a family doing a YouTube show? Have you ever watched that before or seen that? How old are your kids?
My kids are 26 and 27.
That's why they're not watching that.
I'm old.
I've seen so Emmy and Julian are 5 and 8. It's like a family. I would love to
right.
just do,
So it's like a family of streamers.
yes. It really fucking disturbs me.
Yeah, those
though.
are weird.
They're really upsetting. So when I was FaceTiming my sister, they were over the house and they were on the couch and they put on YouTube on the television. It was this family called the Addies or something like that. And I was like, "Hey, Bex," and she was like, "How are they doing? Have they eaten?" I was like, "Yeah, they're just watching some show." And she goes, "What are they watching?" And I turned the she goes, "You know, Julian, you are not supposed to watch that." And I was like, "What's the problem with it?" She goes, "I don't want that." She goes, "The father does the whole video. It's really creepy." And I'm like, you know what? I really agree with you there. And then I watched it for the 10
Yeah,
minutes.
exploiting your kids for content is
It's bizarre.
weird.
It was very, very
And
bizarre.
like especially like I don't know how young these kids are, but like some of those families where it's like they have like 5 kids and they're all like under 12.
And they're making YouTube.
Yeah,
some of them-
and so the kids have a full-time job of like being on the internet.
I'm
Like,
envious
that's
of the
very
hits,
strange.
though. Millions of hits on that. It makes me want to have kids and get married, right? Really, really
Right,
quick.
right, yeah. Have you talked to your fiance about that? Maybe.
Yeah, putting my children onto
Well,
YouTube.
yeah, that's all they're good for. Is
Is the hits?
the hits and child labor. Yeah,
That's very good.
That's it.
So Tony's other topic that I was really interested in was farts in movies.
I knew you were
Farts in movies. Yeah, that
knew-
was one of them.
I wanted to do that really bad. Do you just have one off the top of your head that you know is your favorite?
This at my job, we all know what I do for a living. That topic really fucked me up because I was sitting there for an hour and a half thinking, I was like, what is my favorite fart scene in a movie? And it really boggled me more than any of the topic we thought about. I can't.
Wow.
I was thinking of the movie Jack with Robin Williams where he lights it on fire.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of my. It's not your classic like laugh out loud fart scene, but that's the one that popped into my head.
Right, like the first one I thought of was the clumps in Nutty Professor.
Yeah,
like that's like
yeah, that's the popular one, I think. Yeah.
does he light a fire or fart on fire in Dumb and Dumber? Does Jim Carrey do that?
Oh, I think he does.
He
Or
does.
one of them.
or Ace Ventura. One of those, he's lighting a fart on fire, right?
Yeah.
Has fart humor disappeared in comedy? That should be another question.
That's always so funny, though.
I
Like,
haven't
someone
seen
just
it
lets
in a
one
movie
rip.
in a long, long time. I think that's very much our generation, Gen X to millennials.
My other one was, does the scene in Bridesmaids when she shits in the street, It starts with a bunch of farts. Does that count
That
as a fart
counts.
scene,
No,
or,
that
or it's a poop scene?
It absolutely counts.
Yeah, they go hand in hand anyway.
Yeah.
There's also a very intricate topic right there. Is it a fart scene or is it a shit scene? That's a very good one.
Did you have a favorite fart scene that you wanted to talk about?
There's the clumps I definitely thought about, but the old, I guess it goes back probably to the 70s, one of the old Pink Panther movies. The Peter Sellers, who played Inspector Clouseau, there's a scene where he's in an elevator with a bunch of other guys. And you just it's a big close-up of all, like 5 guys, and you just hear a little, and all of them they're just going like this. And you never find out who did it.
And that's the scene.
That's it. That's the whole scene. And that's always stuck in my head. I've loved it.
I do that humor generally. I don't like those kind of movies, but
Those kinds of movies?
no, where it's all.
You're,
I'm not a big.
you're all about highbrow comedy? You know?
No, you took it that way, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I was not a big Pink Panther guy. I wasn't. My dad loves the Pink Panther movies. I think it skipped me a little bit. Just like I tell people I like Monty Python.
Oh, yeah.
But do I really like Monty Python? I mean, it's another level.
Right, you don't want to say, I don't like Monty Python?
I don't want to say that, especially in a room of comedians.
So what would be your favorite, I say your favorite comedies, like what comes to your mind?
I will throw this to redeem myself. My favorite comedy of all time is Caddyshack.
Oh, nice.
I would throw Step Brothers in there to make the even though that movie's now almost 20 years old, it's getting close. Animal House, Ace Ventura 2, which people get really mad at me because they say Ace Ventura. We did a topic once, just me and him riffing, sequels that are better than the originals.
Okay.
And I said Ace Ventura 2, and him and his brother were
that's-
fucking upset
That's
about
wild to say it's better
yeah,
than.
I am kind of surprised.
Really?
I can appreciate that, especially like with your age. Like you might have seen the second one before the first
I
one.
did.
Right, so like I can appreciate that you might feel that way, but the first one's so much better.
I also do want to defend myself. That was a notorious movie for me. If you were homesick, that and Big Lebowski were constantly on Comedy Central. Like if you were,
It's a hell of a double feature.
Jerry Springer, Big Lebowski, and Ace Ventura 2. Those were like when I was homesick. But I think I've seen the second one also. I guess because you're right. Be right. That the years I grew up, that was very, very popular. I won't say it's. Like, you're not saying it's bad, though. You don't dislike it. You just like the first one better?
Yeah, I just think the first one's better.
Ace Ventura 2.
I mean, the second one does have the rhino thing.
The rhino
which
thing
is like-
is majority
one
of
of
my
the
humor.
it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
And that bad guy is... Jim Carrey movies also, growing up, the implication, whenever sex is involved in the plot... I feel they hit it on the head to where adults could still find it funny. Like as a kid, I had no idea the virginity aspect of that end scene there. As an adult, I'm like, wow, they hid that really well. Like it's not graphic. There was, he's not like raunchy, but he still kind of is. It's tasteful raunchy. But yes, Caddyshack is my number one comedy of all time.
All right, yeah, you're redeemed.
Would you have a number one pick of all time?
Naked Gun, the original Naked Gun.
Oh.
Have you seen the remake?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it was.
I heard good things about it. But I
It was
didn't see
okay. I watched it, but I probably wouldn't bother to see it again. Where the original, I can watch that probably 10 times a year and still laugh like it's the first time.
Yeah.
It's also big shoes to fill. I mean,
Yes.
he's just Airplane. I also love too.
Love Airplane.
That style of he made that famous too. But Liam Neeson, I feel, did a very good job in that. But when you see another guy doing his style of humor, you're like, all right, it's never going to be as good. The sex scene with him and Pam Anderson and the dog, I'm like, all right, whoever wrote that, whatever comedian was at the table and did that one, I enjoyed it a lot. But I watched that with my fiance Jess, who's never, once again, I've said this before, the worst taste in movies of all time.
And then what?
I put her through that. She watched the remake with me, and she was like, "This isn't funny. Like, why are the jokes like?" I'm like, "Honey, it's funny because I'm sorry. I don't have the time to explain."
It's funny
to you.
because I'm sorry.
I don't have the time to explain to you the history of this style of comedy. But
I mean, I remember being fascinated as a kid watching the scene where they're with the full body condoms.
bro,
Like without any
Hugging?
without any context of like understanding what a condom is,
Yeah.
and just being like, "This is so strange." Like I don't get it. Like it took me years to figure out what that joke fucking meant.
I watched that movie in I would say for around 9, right before 10, before you hit puberty. I was very attracted to the woman in that.
Yeah.
And she flirts with him the whole time, and how do I say this with him? Like, anytime a woman is sexually attracted to what's the main character's name in that?
Drebin?
Frank Drebin.
He's so oblivious, very similar to like Al Bundy, where like he always like kind of snubs it off, and it made me so frustrated as a kid. I'm like, just fuck the woman, just fuck her. But that one, is that a sequel too?
I think that was a TV show originally.
Yes.
And then
It
they
was a
made a
TV
movie,
show.
and then they ended up making 3 movies, I think?
Yes.
Three.
Three Naked Guns, yeah, but it was a TV show first called Police Squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk about a great head of hair, by the way. That guy, solid head of hair. God rest his soul. But,
Yes.
we were going into that as well. We just watched. I do want to discuss one thing here. I know you guys you haven't watched the show yet. We did get some hits last week about my Euphoria comments. They just killed off, spoiler alert, the main character last night. One of the main characters. They killed off Nate. Not in one of the most bizarre ways of all time, but what I wanted to discuss was...
I didn't know there was main characters in that show that weren't girls.
Oh, no, Jacob Glardy. Your boy. Frankenstein, baby.
But I thought he was like a side guy.
He's the bad guy on it. Yeah. But this season, the complaint people are having is this third season, it's almost slapstick humor. And I said this, I don't want to repeat myself from last episode, but he took a completely different direction with this character. But he dies. This is what I wanted to put out there in the ethos with you two. Your worst way you could go, because I'm going to tell you the way this character died. What is one way you definitely do not want to die?
I'm being on fire.
But they say, ready? I'm trying to be a little from my old profession as a medic, as if anybody knows what it's like here. If you burn to death, apparently the first thing that goes is your nervous system. With you don't feel it anymore.
I buy that because I remember one time working at a deli, I stuck my hands in the dishwater, and my hands, they hurt for a second and then it went away. I think I was just going into shock.
So because you've washed dishes for an excessive period of time, you're assuming you can handle
the water was hot
up.
enough that I stopped feeling how hot it was, then maybe fire would do the same thing. Was my point.
What way do you definitely know? Look at Tony's fucking face. What way do?
It's something involving my penis.
Okay.
Like my penis getting hurt. That would be my
hurt so bad that you die.
Yeah, well, that's
that's
not. I don't want my last feeling to be my penis getting hurt in some fashion.
So syphilis is out also. Like Al Capone died it rotted him all the way down. He was definitely thinking about it.
Exactly.
Jacob Glardy is not only buried alive, so he's buried alive. Okay, they put him 6 feet under, but it's the only one. They put a pipe to give him air all the way up through the dirt. Okay, and he's screaming the whole episode, "Help me, help me, help me!" So somebody hears him. The luck of this man, not only to be put in a situation to be buried alive, a rattlesnake goes into the tube all the way down, and then the last 15 minutes of the episode, you're wrestling with, he's trying to stay calm so that the snake doesn't bite him, and I go to Jess, I go, he's fucked. There's no calm when you're being buried alive. The snake goes all the way up his face, bites him directly in the face, and then he dies. Talk about a double kick in the dick on that one.
Yeah, that sucks.
I couldn't. The claustrophobia isn't even the problem with being buried alive for me. I guess this is part of it though. Like the being restricted to where like I know I'm out of control. That's my issue. Not the close space. I could deal with close space, knowing that I could do everything in my power and I still can't get out of it. That would fuck me up. But that's definitely going to be a big topic of conversation this week on Twitter. The way Nate died, but I wanted to go that way as well.
Good for him. He's like a total piece of shit in that movie, right?
He's not in the third season, though. He's a big pussy in the third season. That's what everyone's upset about.
But leading up to that,
I think
he's been terrible, right?
I think the writer was trying to give everybody what they wanted and really fuck Nate up. Like, he got his finger cut off. He got his coat cut off twice.
Amateur.
Yeah, buried alive. I mean... But overall, the last episode is this week, and I'll give a full review on what I think. I think Zendaya is probably going to go too. That's my guess because I don't think she wants to be on the show anymore anyway. She makes enough money doing movies. But the other thing I did want to discuss here as well, going into it, my fiance did a lovely thing. She survived her first hardcore death metal show this week.
Nice.
We were going into. I got tickets to go see Paleface Swiss and Lorna Shore. And my friend Chris bails out at the last 45 minutes. He's like, I can't go. So I just send the awkward text to Jess to be like, hey. First thing I did, I didn't ask her to go because I didn't want to get yelled at. But I was like, hey, I'm really upset because my friend Chris bailed on me to go to this show. And without any provoke, she was like, all right, going to get ready. I'm coming. And I'm like, Wow. Not only did she have a good time, I mean, she got hammered. She liked the light up drinks and everything like
Nice.
that. But she had a very, very good time. We saw a show. It was at the Brooklyn Paramount, which I've never been to before. It's a fucking excellent venue.
Really?
Yep, and she survived. She bopped her head a few times, and any excuse for her to also, she likes to dress up in theme. So, like, she was like, do I get to wear black leather? I'm like, you can wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're filling in for a really shitty friend who bailed on me with 45 minutes left. But that was it. Also, I wanted to discuss, my notes in my head, the Knicks won the Eastern Conference Finals. Big round of applause for the New York Knicks. Trying to get some Knicks likes up there. But, and yeah. But other than that, it was a very standard Memorial Day week.
No.
What did you go out east?
Yeah, I was out east. It fucking rained all weekend. It was
it
pretty
sucks.
miserable.
I worked, and to get into Tony's topic, which we will discuss, my job as well. Am I selfish for anytime I always had a job that I had to work the holidays, and my destiny, of course, the next 30 years I will be working most holidays. Did you ever? I got a slight sense of like relief that it did rain because I feel like I wasn't missing out the entire weekend.
Yeah.
And then it came to Monday, and I was like, oh, maybe Monday will be great because I'm finally off Memorial Day, and it still fucking rained. I was off Memorial Day, and it still rained.
Yeah, it was ugly all weekend.
We've had bad Junes the past like 3 years where I feel the summer was short because we had cold, rainy Junes. I'm hoping we are way overdue for like a decent summer. So I'm hoping after the winter we had with all the fucking snow, 12 feet of fucking snow left and right. But speaking of jobs, I did wanted to get into Tony's. Tony, also give them a little background on yourself too. We didn't really give you the intro you really deserved. How'd you got into comedy, what you did before, and then discuss the topic.
Well, I am retired from the phone company. Not exactly a dream job, but a good job, good benefits and whatnot. But
I can relate.
yeah, yeah. I said that promoting this show on my show today. I know you don't want to say what you do, but I did say you're a union guy, so I
Yes.
left it at that. Is
Will
that safe to say?
I don't understand.
Neither do
I don't understand.
Yes, we can. We will discuss it in as guarded as we can here. What I do for a living.
So I've always been a fan of comedy. I've always done acting on the side and stuff, and then trying to make this as short as possible. I'm a cancer survivor and lost my right leg to it. Obviously couldn't do my job anymore. I was a lineman. I put poles in, climb poles, and all that good stuff. Obviously couldn't do that job anymore, so I took a disability retirement and just figured out, you know what, life is too short. So let me try and do more acting, more comedy. And that's what led me to this room. I've been here for 8 years and loving almost every minute of it.
Congratulations on being a cancer survivor, everybody. But the full disability retirement sounds great. Coming from a guy who just started his 30-year union job, I would
Yeah.
love a disability retirement real fucking fast.
Yeah, I mean it's it sucks sometimes not having a leg, but I'm enjoying myself. Life is better. I don't make the money I used to make, but I'm a much happier guy.
I will say to you, and I talked to Rob about this once. You walk so well. I didn't know you had one leg until you lifted the leg up past your head that one day when we were just talking. He's going to do it right now. He lifts his whole leg. He did that in regular conversation. You weren't here that day.
He wasn't here.
I don't think I fucking knew this.
I didn't even
serious?
realize.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, so
I had no idea.
So we were just having. I think you might have been. It might have been a day you were late. We were having a conversation, and all of a sudden he picked his leg up. But I thought he was doing a bit. And I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" He's like, "Oh, I have one leg," and he told me the whole story, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But
That's my stand-up act. It's all based on that.
it is all.
Yeah. And the audience,
that prop comedy?
They never knew. Yeah, I think so. They never know what to do. They don't know if they laugh. Most of them just. It's the best. I love it. Yeah. No, life is. I don't have any complaints.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
And Tony has been the producer here the whole time. We wanted to also let everybody know he's always the man speaking behind. By the way, you could chime in on our show as much as you want.
I appreciate that. I try
I would
not
love
to.
for you to do.
All right.
Because there's sometimes when I rewatch the video, I'm like, I hear him, I'm like, oh, Tony would have been good on that one. But we want to have you regularly on.
You were talking something. You guys were doing something with music a few weeks ago, or was it last week? But and I'm a big music guy, big music buff, and there was a ton of times. But no, it's not my show, so I back
Anytime
off.
you want to chime in, Tony.
Thank
Anytime.
you. Appreciate it.
The other thing I do want to say before we get into Tony's topic, big congratulations to the whole crew here, the whole team. We cracked the top 10. Rob doesn't think this is
It's a big deal.
such a bougie asshole. We are number 8 on Podomatic for podcasts.
That's fantastic.
Yep, number 8 in comedy. I'm just going to stop checking and assuming it keeps going up to 1, and that's it. But special shout out, thank you to all the guests we've had so far. We had Jonathan, we've had Guillermo, the Fork of New York, and we had Brendan Malloy. Really appreciate it. Hopefully Tony can get us to that number 1 spot. No pressure.
Doubt
no
it.
pressure.
Yeah. Don't get your hopes up.
But to get into it here on your first topic, which I really
Okay.
like, you and I have had sidebar conversations just on the phone about this. You and I both have worked union and union jobs before.
Correct.
And me and Rob have also had this discussion several times drunk about unions and politics, everything like that. But Tony's topic for today is going to be the pros and cons of unions. To get into this a little bit, without saying your job, when I found out what you used to do, okay, one of the places you used to work, or one of their facilities, is right next to the Department of Motor Vehicles, where it used to be in Car Place.
Okay.
My-
I didn't work in Carl.
Meaning, I know you didn't. Meaning,
Oh.
the company you worked has one there.
Okay. Yes. Sorry.
When my first experience with seeing a union and seeing a strike was going to get my learner's permit. That was during their
Okay.
first big strike, at least in my lifetime, and it was. Without saying that company's name, it was surprising to see how gangster the revolt was. It was like a Rage Against the Machine video.
Yes.
That union does not fuck around, the one you were in.
And it's not.
It's not.
And it's not even close to what it used to be. A guy, what year was it? 89, where a man died on the picket line for one of our strikes.
Like
Holy
they
shit.
were throwing
Oh, yeah.
rocks, eggs, screaming at people.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. And it's
We
not.
used to follow them and
Yeah.
taunt them on the job site. Oh yeah,
Now, to get into this a little
That's
bit
awesome.
here.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Around that. That's
it was
I
so
get-
much fun.
They used to always have the big inflatable rat out
Yes.
front. And I get excited every time I see that fucking rat. Like,
You know, I only found out what that rat was pretty recently in life. I always just assumed it was just like it was an inflatable. I didn't know it had anything to do with unions or strikes until like
you just thought sometimes people are out there just celebrating rats, having a rat party.
a lot of times I drive around and I'm just so angry about driving, like on Long Island in particular. That doesn't shock me.
Do you think it was like a mascot for somebody?
I don't. I really.
You saw a ton of people standing outside a building with
And
a,
a
with a
inflatable
giant
rat.
and you were like,
We live on
someone's
Long
having a
Island.
party.
It's not the most shocking thing I've ever seen. But coming from somebody, I've worked 2 union jobs in my life, and the first one, I felt that the union in that job was unnecessary.
Okay.
Working a job now where it's in a big municipality and there's thousands of employees, I see the need a lot more.
Agreed.
However, there are some pros and cons to it. One of the cons I wanted to get into was not everybody has the ability. Wow, this is going to sound like I'm stroking my own dick right here. I really like to negotiate on my own behalf a lot of the time, meaning like when I would like to go for raises or anything like that. And Rob has heard me way too much in the middle of negotiations with my old job. I'm big on I ask for a raise. If they give it to me, great. If they don't, I quit.
Oh.
I was big on that. I've done that a few times. Mind you, it's going all in poker, and you better be really good unless you're doing that. I was confident that I was very good at my job and it would ultimately do it. But in terms of that job, I always wanted to negotiate my own raises. Being part of a collective bargaining agreement now, I understand that would be completely impossible with 35,000 employees or whatever it is. And I do like my reps for the union I work for a lot, and they do get us everything that I feel we really do deserve, plus a little more. I do. I think so.
No, you deserve every bit of it. I
absolutely.
wouldn't say a little more.
Absolutely. Some places though, like my old job, I think it was 75 employees, and the union was. It gave me a real bad taste in my mouth because my union reps were. I don't know if you ever worked at a place like this where they were almost like your second managers. Like they would come up to you and they would speak to the managers a lot. It was almost like you were getting in trouble again.
Right.
And whenever you needed them, they weren't really going to help you anyway.
Right.
So I walked into this job with like, oh, this is going to be another. And my union reps are amazing for this job. Like I consider them friends. I talk to them all the time. But me being the con side of it, I would say very heavily dependent on the company you absolutely work for.
Well, I mean, that's what a union is. It's power in numbers. You know, so yeah, it's. And that's actually one of the cons I put down was the members, because you have most of them don't most of them don't really pay attention. They just want to know, how much am I getting? When am I getting it? They don't get involved. There are plenty of members that take advantage of certain things. And a lot of members that just don't pay attention to things. So it's a struggle. It's the ones that don't do their jobs.
Yeah.
They make the rest of us look bad because they're getting the same things that we're getting.
Yes.
Which is a pain. But the majority are good people, good working people. I truly believe that the majority are people that want to do their job and do it well. They just want to be, compensated correctly or appropriately.
Yeah.
But that is one of the members, can be a pain.
My father worked a union job as well. I could say what my dad did. My dad worked for the post office for 52 years.
Wow.
God bless the guy.
52 years.
Yes.
Holy cow.
His complaint against unions is, and I've heard this one a lot, you only care if you're a bad employee. How good, the union only protects the bad employees. That's what he always used to say. Mind you, he was a guy who stayed very low key and never called them for anything or anything.
Right.
So he always saw. And I said to him, like, what do you expect though? They're not going to not help the guy who is constantly in trouble. That's you should dislike that guy more than you dislike the system that's protecting the guy. I get it, but
as a union rep, we hated representing those guys, the ones that are in trouble all the time, because you want to just smack these guys. What are you doing? Because I was a union rep. There was one guy, we had to send a bunch of guys upstate somewhere because they had some big storm and, replacing poles and the whole infrastructure. This is back in the days before weed was legal. This guy had weed FedEx to him at his hotel. I mean, I go on about this one particular guy
how
all
did
day.
they catch him?
I don't know. I don't know if it smelled. I don't know.
Right, was he stoned on the job, or was it just him having it? Was the
well, the fact that as soon as the package arrived and it was addressed to him, it never even made it to him. Immediately,
wow.
Whoever received the package at the hotel, they found the proper channels, and the company had this package. It never reached this guy, but because his name was on it,
right.
he was getting in trouble for this.
So this is obviously a genius who he put his name on a drug okay,
and that's what I mean. The stuff that those types of people you take the attitude. You try to think the best of everybody. You say, okay, well, and what we did to save this guy is we sent him to rehab, and all right, he has a problem.
Yeah,
it's his
brain is the problem. He put his name on a fucking drug package.
Right. And there are guys too that. Because the union can get you, so much in benefits. Mm-hmm. We had a guy that went out on this type of disability, that type of disability, this type of leave for a family member. This guy worked maybe 3 months a year. And even then, when he was there, we didn't know where he was half the time. This is before we didn't have GPS back then either. So this guy was able to just take off. And, but nobody wanted to rat him out or anything.
Yeah.
So you do the job with one less guy. You do it. You go back at the end of the day. This was done, and you don't get into those details. You just tell him it's done. And this guy was my hero. This guy did 30 years of this. I was there when he first started. He came and worked with me, and I just bumped into him last year, and he told me he just retired, and he did 30 years of that. Where I'm telling you, maybe 3 months a year he showed up.
He's like the guy from Office Space.
Yes.
Maybe for 15 minutes a day, I would do actual real work.
And the foreman used to come to me. They would tell me flat out, "We can't wait to nail this guy." But he would have 3 or 4 different addresses listed on his personal record.
Yeah.
Whichever one they went to, he wasn't there. So they would never. And he said, "Well, I have these other addresses, or I was at a doctor. I took the kid to the doctor." Like he always had.
So he's very good at getting out of it.
He was a master at it, and he did it for 30 years.
Ow.
And full retirement.
He won. He beat them.
Totally. They never caught him doing a thing. They never caught him.
Yeah.
And that's embarrassing and pisses me off, to be honest with you. I feel like, because that's not how I want the union to be known. I don't want to be known as somebody that can do something like that. But at the same time, I'm like, well, screw the company, good for him.
Right. It's a weird thing because I wouldn't want to fucking work with that guy. I wouldn't want to cover somebody all the fucking time. But at the same time, it's kind of like, Man, if you do it for 30 years, I'm kind of impressed.
Like,
that's,
absolutely.
That's fucking
Absolutely right.
pretty awesome.
Can you get him as our guest for next week, please? We can
bet
blow his face out. He could do like a testimonial.
I bet you he would do it. It's an amazing story.
Wow.
Crazy. But then I also think too, like you're talking about unions that aren't useful. Again, being here in the comedy club, a lot of these comedians, try to get work in movies and TV. The actors union. I mean, that union is almost useless. They pay a lot in dues and they don't get a lot in return. There's a lot of rules of do's and don'ts.
My friend is in that union, and I've asked him a lot of questions, especially over the past few years when they were negotiating over like how they're using AI and streaming and everything like that.
Yes,
I was shocked and looking back now, I'm like, it makes more sense. The 99% of their membership isn't the earners of like Tom Cruise, who's in that union, everything like that.
Right.
So a lot of the votes that are going to that are people who aren't like dying to get the health benefits, and but that union necessarily, like, even my big problem with their negotiations over the past few years was when they were going against streaming. Like the actors, were like, oh, this is for us, this is for us, this is for us. I knew when all those apps weren't going to take a hit and be like, all right, we're going to pay the actors more. Every single, and this is part of what happens with big corporations like that. Like, what's a Netflix subscription cost now? $30
Right,
a month?
I have no idea.
No, I don't even want to look. I just keep it renewing it.
Yeah.
But in the long run, do I feel that they?
But I'd rather the actors in the shows I watch get the money than fucking
Netflix?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm with you all the way on that one. Yeah. I just knew it was going to come out of our pocket on that one.
Yeah.
Very
It always
similarly
does.
with the union that I'm a part of. This was my first go. How do I say this? I'm trying to be very creative here. It was my first experience with seeing what the company does in the middle of negotiations. That actually the mudslinging back and forth in terms of what was going on. I don't like the term, and I don't know how much you guys went through this in yours. Our company was throwing overtime at us, meaning like they were using it as a leverage point. And the big quote was, these guys gobble up overtime left and right. And people, like, during this whole incident that was going on, a lot of my friends reached out to me and they were like, oh, I can't believe you guys like milk overtime as much as you guys do. Mind you, these are people who work private jobs and they do very well. I hope they do well. Overtime is mandated at the job I work. So what that means is the company I work for would rather mandate overtime and add it to jobs, which I am forced to work, and mind you, I get paid. However, instead of hiring new employees to then cover the book, because they have to cover the health insurance package, the life insurance benefits.
It's cheaper to just pay the overtime.
It is. That should not be a negotiation point used then by management because it's due to poor management.
Right.
That's the only reason. Mind you, also, if I was on the board of the company I worked for, I'd probably throw the same mud back. I mean, that's what they do.
Well, yeah, look at all this overtime you guys take. It's
Yeah.
like,
Mind you,
we have to because someone has to be
even
working.
if it was voluntary, where it is, there's times like I could work my days off if I want to. It's not like I have a job where I could punch in and not be there. I'm working entirely my whole overtime day, which is time away from your family, which is more wear and tear on your body. I do get it. Like, I am very pro-union now, actually working in a job where I see that's extremely necessary. Do I work with a lot of people or even the other unions that are at my company and I see exactly what you're talking about with that? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. My union rep is a saint. He's like very much like an uncle to me. And I hear the trauma in his voice a lot of the time where like he's been the disciplinary rep, I would say, for I think it's like 17 years. So he's heard every phone call you could ever think of all time. The funniest thing about him, though, is when I call him when I actually have ever thought I was in trouble, he goes, whoa, shh, not a big deal, no, not a big deal, calm down, relax, not a big deal. When I call him and ask him, like, hey, can you help me get like this personal day? He's like, oh, what do you think I could do here?
Wow.
It's always the opposite.
Yeah.
It just shows you that he's been beaten left and right over the phone. Mind you, he answers every single time for me, and he's a fucking saint. Shout out to that human being. He knows who he is. But what would you say some of the... How long were you a rep for?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah,
were you a
10 years.
discipline? Like my union there, each rep has their own thing they cover. One does the overtime, one does the insurances. And
I was for a particular department. So anything that went on in that department came to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, disciplinary.
Yeah.
Keeping the overtime list fair because we try to keep the hours as equal as possible. And
we don't even that one. That
was a tough one.
My job is more of a game because of how it works, and you know what I do. We've talked about this before because you also have a friend who works with me as well.
Yep.
It's done on a seniority basis, but the way the job is worked with picking is almost like a raffle. So that system is always covered through there. But each summer and winter, we also have to pick a job, and there's trimming, and it goes into like my friends. Like Rob has asked me, like, thank you by the way, Rob, for putting up with me with this. I will give you this because my off days change so much. Rob has very much accommodated, like being here once a week, and I do thank him for that. I love him as much as he doesn't answer the phone or like contribute.
Yeah, but I show up.
You show up. That's like if you didn't show up, it would be the end of the world. But yeah.
Have either of you ever like run afoul of the union, or like?
What does that mean?
So I used to work at a car dealership, and so I was with the mechanics, but I was non-union.
Yes.
So like sometimes like people will come in with like their tire light comes on, and because it's fucking 40 degrees out, and you just need to put some air in it.
Yeah.
So someone would just be like, Rob, just take the car and put some air in it.
They would kill you at my job.
So I did that like 2 or 3 times, like just not thinking anything of it. Till one of the guys, the union rep of the shop, comes over and goes, Rob, I'm not mad at you. This guy can't fucking touch the,
Yes.
So he's like, that's billable hours. It's all this. And I was just like, Frank, I just did what I was told. I didn't mean to do that. I'm really sorry. I never touched an air hose again. But like, just trying to respect the union while I'm not a part of it.
Yeah.
And like trying to be like, I'm not trying to fucking fuck you guys at all. Like, but like, I had a very good relationship with that guy. So like, he really wasn't coming at me at all. But I could have seen someone really taking a problem with me.
Well, after that, if you did something like
if I
that
did it again,
yes.
then they would have seen you in a different light, and you probably would never in that world escape that rep.
Yeah.
My job is the worst one to ever do that because everything is so divided up into your own task and your own job.
Yeah.
There really isn't much overlap in terms of that. If somebody did that, though, it's like a crucified.
Right. The only reason we were even doing that was because it's something. If they checked you in and did it the right way, it's going to take an hour and a half, or I could get you out of there in 5 minutes. So just kind of be like, just move them along or whatever.
Yeah.
But
unions don't want you to do things faster. That's the big thing.
Well, right. I mean, and that's actually one of the pros I have. It's not so much. I mean, a lot of people think of it as time billed when it could you get billed for an hour and a half, but it can only take 5 minutes. And the common thing is people talk about the highway guys. How many guys just stand around in a circle? But
I mean, I get a little mad about the stop sign guys.
Yeah, well,
the flaggers, you mean? Like that's a flagger. Yeah.
But they're most likely getting paid a lot less because their job isn't the same as going up and to handle live electrical wires.
Yeah.
And somebody's got to do it, and that's.
Oh no! If I see a guy in a bucket, that's different.
Right.
I'm thinking of.
But that's one of my pros with unions is doing a job safely. Yeah, you do see the guy standing in a circle, but it's not always the same guys because the guys that are working, like there's safety protocols. And yeah, you need that guy with the stop sign because you'd be surprised, and I've seen it. Guys who will speed or come really, come through the job site.
Especially on this island, the worst island to drive on in the fucking world. Yeah,
I was doing a job not just right over here by the Wanto Parkway in Hempstead Turnpike. I was doing a lot of underground work. Installing pipes underneath ducts. I had a 20-foot piece of PVC that I'm walking and heading over to the trench, and we had a bunch of it. There's a car stereo place on the corner, if you're familiar.
Yes.
We had all of our stuff in there. This car came flying through, didn't even hit the brakes. I mean, this guy came flying through. He hit the pipe that I was carrying.
Jesus.
Smashed to a million pieces. I didn't know what was going on. He went, boom, right into the pile of pipes. He was drunk.
Yeah.
But
we hope, right?
But that's what I mean. You need the guys with the signs to remind people to slow. Believe it or not, you need that. So that's what I mean. The people on the outside, they don't think about those. They don't realize that. Yeah, there's safety protocols, and you're handling electric. You shouldn't be up there. I don't know, whatever it is, more than 8 hours, because if you get fatigued,
for
his safety and for yours, you don't want him up there. So and that's those are the big pros, in my opinion, for unions. They train right. They make sure that everything is always safe. A 40-hour work week was due to
I
unions.
didn't know that one
which
until you told me that.
everybody benefited from.
Yeah.
Which then
I
goes...
mean, yeah, weekends. Like,
right. And then overtime.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have overtime if the 40-hour work week wasn't established. The benefits, and not just health benefits, but 401ks and discounts at like
The
my union
pensions,
had discounts at Costco. You get there's
I
and
would
we even
kill for that one right now.
Yeah.
I would fucking kill
and
for
we
that
even
discount.
we used to get a card. Now it's probably a website or something, but it had a whole list of these different companies that gave our members discounts. Lawyers and certain doctors and automobile and all these different things. And then pay. Pay leads to a better quality of life, and better pay again motivates people to care and work harder. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, because I am a lower, I just started at my job the last few years. Have you ever been involved in a contract negotiation as a rep?
No.
Or that's another department in your union?
Yeah, those are like
The chairmans and the yes,
right, the presidents. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't a rep where I was in an office taking phone calls. I was always out in the field, but I had a certain section of Nassau County where these guys, if they had an issue, they came to me.
Your
and
phone ring every day?
I'm sorry?
Was your phone ringing every day as a rep?
Several times a day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And that was the thing, too, part of our collective bargaining. As a union rep, if something was going on, I'm allowed to leave the job and go handle it.
That is a cool benefit of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because
do you get paid for that from the union?
the union, my particular union gave us a little something, but it wasn't anything like
Right.
like
Worth 12 phone calls a day, or
no, it wasn't. But but we were still getting full pay from
Right.
Yeah.
who I worked for. So that's why it was worth it. But I got a little extra, and the union had appreciation dinners, and there'd be other events. There were fringe benefits, and
It is also like a very, depending on the union you're in. Mine in particular is very much of a a fraternity, like a
Absolutely.
Again, kind
Yes.
of. And
when I was sick, when I first found out I got sick, so like I said, cancer survivor. Again, had to go for all sorts of tests. The doctor knew something was up. Had to get a bunch of tests. The next day, call the doctor to make the appointment. Come in. The doctor said, call me. We'll figure out a time for you to come in so we can go over the results. I call my doctor. Doctor says, all right, yeah, you're gonna. I called my doctor 1:00 in the afternoon. Doctor says, come in tonight at 7.
Okay.
I said, 7? I got to wait another 6 hours? I just went for these
Yeah.
tests yesterday. I'm freaking out. What are we dealing with? Doctor says it's not good. So I did. I thought I was dead. My first phone call went to my boss, who was, in the local, the guy that was in the office every day. Mm-hmm. My boss, because we became such close friends. So I called him and said, please make sure the 401k is, everything is there. Make sure the benefits, make sure the insurance is set up, the 401k, make sure that it's all going to, absolutely whatever you need. Obviously, it turned out I wasn't dying, but you have that relationship that
Yep.
I mean, that was like, okay, that's covered. I'm about to die, but that's covered. My
Yeah.
family is set. Didn't die, but I was out off and on for 3 years dealing with cancer issues. And because of the fraternity, it happened more than once where I would just go to the front door. There was a big shopping bag full of cash.
Yep.
To this day, have no idea who put in $1, who put in $100. No idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you with 100% certainty, those are my union brothers and
Yeah.
sisters that did that. Because we took care of each other like that. And I've been out of there for 18 years. And I still keep tabs on certain guys, and we had a thing, we wear red on Thursdays to show our solidarity. I still do it.
Yeah,
And
really?
I've been out of there for 18 years. I still
Wow.
do it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not really up on the company and what's going on, but the guys I worked with, I'm still in touch with several of them, and we still look out for each other.
Nice.
It's nice. Yeah.
Can I ask you, what goes through your head the first time that you have to climb a pole? Like, that's them, and there's live wires and stuff. That must seem like a terrible idea.
No, it's two different things. The first time you climb a pole is in training school.
Okay.
And there's nothing up there, so it really doesn't even really give you the right idea, because out there in the field you have all these different things that you have to climb around. You and
Right,
your
right. The
guineas.
Transformers.
That's
and
true.
all the
Actually,
stuff
yeah,
up there.
But even before that, like in school, because
bushes?
it's just a pole.
The bushes.
But that makes sense. So in pole school, like you can go up maybe 6 feet and then put the belt around and climb up and work the belt. But yeah, bushes get in the way. Sometimes a clothesline, a clothesline, so you can't belt up at 6 feet. You're going up to like maybe 10 feet before you can put your belt on. And it's only 10 feet. It's really not the end of the world, but it gets a little scary when you're up 10 feet.
What's
So-
a standard?
That's
standard
enough to really hurt yourself.
Right.
It's just enough to
Yes.
hurt yourself.
Yes.
What's a standard telephone pole? The height up there, like wait,
Well,
because they're not going all the way to the top. I get
right.
that.
So in Nassau County,
Yeah.
so you have electric, Cablevision, telephone is actually the lowest. So it's only like anywhere from 20, on the average 20, 25, maybe 30.
Yeah.
But that's I've never seen in Nassau County any higher than that.
Okay.
And I've never worked outside of Nassau, so I couldn't tell you the rules and regulations. But yeah, so anywhere from 20 to 30
Now,
is
what
what
do
I
you-
did.
I've always wanted to know this question. Have you ever worked in Garden City before?
Yeah.
What you're going underground for those though, right? Because all their lines are underground, right?
Well, that was what I did when I first worked there. My first 5 years there was totally underground. Like I said, putting in installing duct work, fixing ducts if anything broke.
do you feel that's more efficient the way that city runs that? Honestly,
Yeah, there's pros and cons to that.
okay.
It's better. It's not an eyesore, and but to fix something, like you can go overhead, with a ladder and fix the actual spot. Where if it's underground, if you're going to the actual spot, you either have to, and that's what I did for years. I jackhammers and through 2 feet of concrete.
I get what
I
you're
was
saying.
in good shape when I was doing that, man. And then you're making a mess in a neighborhood and making noise, but or you're making a mess. Have to pull the whole cable out, and then you're knocking a whole neighborhood out of service if you're doing something like that. So I don't know. It's a little.
I could interview Tony just on lineman work all day.
Oh,
This is-
yeah, I still love that.
I had a friend from Texas visit, and like just walking out onto like Westbury Avenue in Carr Place, and he just saw like the bird's nest of there. I used to work across the street from a pole that I don't know what was going on with that pole, but the pole was so bad when they installed new poles, they left the old pole. Like it's like no one wanted to touch it.
Yes.
But he being from Texas, so everything's underground. And he came out and he's looking at everything. He's like, "What the fuck is this? Like, this doesn't make any. Don't you guys have hurricanes? This doesn't make any sense." And it was just like, I don't even think about it because you just see it all the time.
I used to hate when a storm was coming and some guys would get excited because they know they're going to start making crazy money. That used to bother me. It's
Were you
like, no,
retired?
people are going to die.
Were you retired before Sandy? Right before it, then, right?
Right before.
Wow.
Yep, I miss Sandy.
Yeah.
But I didn't miss fiber optics, and that's to me that was a downfall, and that was a downside to unions, because when everybody was doing the big push, you had Verizon, I just said it, and Optimum going, they were now going in business against each other for the first time, so they were all making a major push to get all that up and to have their deals for the triple plays and all that. So, like you said before, you open up the wallets, offer unlimited overtime. You're basically throwing money at people.
Yeah.
Get the job done, and we'll pay you. Just work 24 hours. We'll pay
Yep.
you.
really.
And so guys were making deals. Guys were working crazy overtime. They were doing all sorts of stuff to get the job done quicker. And I lost a lot of friends because I was fighting with them. You're not working as safe. You're not sticking to all the rules. Sometimes they put stuff up just so they can turn it all on. Then they they button it up later.
Yeah.
Nassau County had a 5-year window to get all the fiber optic up. It got done in 3.
Wow.
These guys, and they were happy. They made all sorts of money. The company's happy. They figured out the secret. Throw money at them, and they'll do anything we want. So after 3 years, the fiber's up.
Yeah.
Now what? There's no work because the fiber works so well. So 2 years later, less than 2 years later, now guys, a guy who lives in Mastic, who works in Hempstead, has now been transferred to Brooklyn.
Yep.
Who's he calling? Me. Sorry, pal. But I can't help you. You're low on the seniority, so yes, you're due to go. If they're skipping the seniority or something, I could look into that, but they weren't.
Yep.
So guess what? You're stuck. Have fun in Brooklyn.
Yep.
And then I became
They
the
dug
bad
their
guy.
own graves, essentially.
They dug their own grave, but they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not, some of them
You're
to
not
this day.
you're not protecting them or whatever. Like,
Exactly. Some of them to this day still don't talk to me.
Even though you warned them that this was going to happen.
Yes.
Yep.
I just last Thursday, Mike Keegan did a show at the brokerage.
Shout out to Mike Keegan. Yep.
Yeah, I went to go see it. Mark Hirschman,
Yep.
he was in the show too. Now, Mark is one of those weird guys that he lives in Levittown now, but he grew up in Valley Stream. But he's just one of those guys that knows everybody. Like how did that even happen?
Yeah.
He knows everybody. He knows a guy that I worked with at the phone company, and this guy hated me.
Okay.
I go to the show this past Thursday. Hirschman and Keegan are performing. After the show, this woman yells to me. I'm outside the brokerage saying goodbye to people. I'm going to leave. This woman yells to me. What? So I'm walking around. I'm like, who is this? Who is this woman? I just wanted to say hi to you because you don't know me. I'm such and such's girlfriend. You know, he was a friend of Hirschman, but this is the guy from. She goes, I'm his girlfriend. She goes, he couldn't make it tonight, but I came. She goes, I just want you to know he doesn't hate you. Because Hirschman and I have joked about it on the air. But I'm like, I said, no, this guy hates me. I know this guy hates me. He always hated me. She says, no. I said, I appreciate you saying that. But I just thought it was funny 18 years later.
Yeah.
And this woman, flagged me down just, to say that. But yeah, that's the secret. Just throw money at them and they lose sight of everything.
My other question here. This turned into more of a great interview than anything.
Sorry.
No. This worked. This was a great episode. Coming from somebody who's also 90% of their career is involved in electricity as well. Big hint right there for the folks who are listening. Have you ever, if you don't mind asking this one, have you ever seen anybody hit live wire?
Yes.
It's
scary.
It is scary.
I saw one guy. We were working underground. We were digging a trench. This guy had a pickaxe. He was hitting the dirt. And
Just this, what's
I know, it's like a nice moment.
No, the song is what did it. Right when he's getting to the traumatic part, the sweet little chime came on.
And there was blood everywhere, children.
And his head exploded. He's
pickaxe. Now we have machines that, will tell you where certain things are. It picks up a signal, tells you where certain things are. But the machine that day didn't work right.
Shit.
So we thought we were safe. I'll never forget it. We were standing over the hole, and he was working the pickaxe. Almost, boom! Big flash of light, and this loud boom. And again, because of the union, this guy had his safety goggles on, and he had this. I don't even know how to describe it. Like a stripe going across, like whatever he hit, the ray of light, the flash. It went right across his eyes. And he was fine because he had these goggles on. These, when there's a big storm and everything is down, a lot of companies, let's get this contractor from Texas. Let's get this contractor from Pennsylvania, to pay to make it, to fix it quicker. Yeah. And we always fight against that. They're not working safer. They don't know the infrastructure.
No, they just drove 20 hours to get here.
Right, the storm chasers. They cut corners in it left and right because they're getting paid per job.
Yep.
So they're not wearing protective gear most of the time. Our guys, the job takes longer, but
and also
these guys get to go home.
Working with your team, you're also probably more comfortable because you also work with those guys every day, and you know each other's quirks and who's good at this, who's good at that.
Absolutely.
And now you're throwing it's like being on a team, a new wide receiver, and you're like, I don't know where this guy expects.
Well, and I imagine when you have to come back to do work there later, and you could just find a mess.
Yes, that's
whoever
exactly
left
right.
It there, right?
Right, after the storm is cleared off,
Right, a
now
year
we have to
later
go back
or
and fix
something,
their mess all the time. But no, we didn't work with them. Beauty of the union, too, we had the power to say, no, we're not working with them. So they would get, their own jobs.
Wow.
They'd go working, I don't know,
for that specific
First
reason,
Street
I'm
while
saying.
we were on Second Street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that was part of our agreement. We were able to say, no, we're not working with them.
I know my team. I know these guys. And look what happened. Okay.
I mean, within the company itself.
Yes.
The three of us may not work together every day and don't know each other in and out, but I don't know if there's a storm or whatever the circumstance, we have to work together.
Yes.
Yeah.
But these guys that aren't part of the company and aren't in our union, no.
No. Did that man survive?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had that stripe across his glasses. That was it.
Wow.
Nothing happened to him. But He
Does
probably
he have any cool powers now?
Yeah, he can fly.
I was trying to beat you to the joke once he did the stripe on his eyes. I was like, Rob's going to throw an X-Men reference in right away, so I had to throw it in.
He shoots rays out of his ass.
Yeah,
when he farts.
he's Cyclops now. That's it. Yeah.
No, but I saw a guy. He hit an underground power line and knocked out half of Suffolk. That was in the mid '90s. It made Newsday, the whole works. Oh yeah,
He knocked out half of something.
oh, I'm not kidding.
That's amazing.
It was big. Made big news.
Wow.
Yeah, knocked out, and yeah, TV cameras are there. You just.
That's a bad day at work.
I didn't want. Yeah, I mean, an actor, comedian, you want to be on TV, not that.
The one of the worst parts of my job is when you make a mistake at my job. It's not only this is the worst part of it. There's how do I say this? God damn it! There is we all have iPads at our jobs, so you get a red alert. It's called. Not only do when you make a mistake, even a small one, because my job is it's very clicky and everyone knows each other. If you make a mistake, you look down at your iPad, it alerts you, and it's just like, just so you know, so and so did this at this at this at this.
Wow,
It does. So like. It's such a shame game that's played. Like
Yeah.
I've run into.
You hear about it from like 30 different people when you.
I'll be honest with you. If an incident happens at the place I work, there are probably some people who know 5 minutes after it happens. Like the person could come back to their end location and they're gonna be like, "Whoa, you did!" And it's sad. I've run into guys who have like a black cloud over them because it's like, "Oh my God, you met Will? That's that guy. That's that guy." Did you hear what he did? And I'm like, no. What? Oh, that's him. That's
oh yeah, we have plenty of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
where you
yeah.
get it. Yeah, the stigma with it too.
Wow.
To get into this, also, if we're going to get into the origin story of Cyclops from X-Men, to wrap this up here, I do want to do Rob's topic because also and Tony watched it as well here. You wanted to discuss.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Punisher: One Last Kill.
I do want to hear about this because I am putting it on this week, and I'm very upset that Tony saw it. And this is something I'm very into movies and TV, and I'm the odd man out.
I
of
mean,
this one.
I'm a big Punisher guy. I didn't even know what happened that it came out until after it had come out. It was like really strange.
Yeah,
I-
the whole
it
thing
just
around it
completely
was
missed
very
me.
weird. I'm a big Punisher. The first season to me was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
Flawless.
When you mean the first season, do you mean the new first season
The
or
John Bernthal.
the original Netflix one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
With
Yeah.
Micro.
What's that?
That was with Micro, right? That was,
Yes.
that was the
I'm
first
going
season.
even further. I loved him on Daredevil. I think he
Yeah.
made that second.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes.
Right, it made the rest of that season worse because like, when
Yes.
Punisher wasn't there, it was just like,
Yes.
what are we? Ninjas?
Hats off to Bernthal. He nailed it.
Yeah,
Man.
he's
so good.
incredible.
Yeah.
He's incredible in this new one too. It's like they just knew what he could do, and so they just he's monologuing by himself.
Yes.
And,
He loves a monologue. By the way.
he's crying. He's he gets really intense really quick.
If you have a really good, he's a very good man's man actor in the sense that he gives emotion really well to like those alpha macho roles that I really
Yes.
I sounded like the gayest man. He's such a beast. He's such a
No,
monster.
no, you're right. He shows he shows a lot of vulnerability while being
Yes.
Frank Castle. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not something I think a lot of actors could do. you
Yes. I also we're big Thomas Jane fans. I felt Thomas Jane did it great also.
know? Yeah, I love that movie.
But I
it
could
has
see-
its issues, but I love that movie.
I could also see, like, not to make it sound like it's an easy role, I could see a lot of actors fucking that role up, though, as well.
There's like John Bernthal. He has like no reason to make that role as good as it
Yes.
is because you could just be stoic and do your action scenes and call
Have
it a
great
day,
hair.
and
Yeah.
it would be like, oh yeah, that's Punisher, that's fine. Like, but like the mountain that he brings to it is really like incredible.
Did you guys watch the Daredevil along with, like, he comes into Daredevil and then they end it with this, right?
He's in season 1 of the new Daredevil.
So the one that everybody's talking about now, the one that ended, which I heard Daredevil, the end of Daredevil is exceptional, I heard.
Oh yeah, this season it started off like but then the second half
ends-
is fantastic.
I haven't finished the new season.
Oh, okay.
Does Frank show up in that eventually?
Yeah,
Or
he does. Not much, but he does. But
Yeah.
but this thing that came out, it's not even. They didn't label it as a part of Daredevil.
Really?
It's
Is it
just-
a movie or it's a show?
It's a 45-minute special feature.
Right.
And it just comes up as like this is not for this is violent. This is not for children, or like whatever. There's like a warning before it, and just a special feature, and it goes right into.
Does
the
he go
Punisher.
on a rampage? Is there any parts?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, about halfway through it like turns into the raid, and he's just fighting people.
Yes.
Like it's really interesting because it's like it almost feels like a parody of Punisher.
Yes,
because like
agreed.
He like the first 10 minutes he's doing the no
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
And then when
Very good.
when like it finally like really kicks off. So he's standing in a room. He gets lit on fire, and then he just stands there, and there's a music cue, and it starts. It's not Frank Sinatra, but it's some slow. I can't remember what song. It plays a slow song. I
Okay.
can't think of what it is now. And then he goes, and he starts his roar, and
He hulks up.
he does his Punisher roar.
Yeah.
And he runs through a fucking door, and it's fucking incredible.
You're hard as a rock the whole time.
But like, this is what they should keep doing for the Punisher. Like, I don't know if you really need whole. Like, the season 2 was good, but it's tough to keep him going a whole season.
Yeah, but I didn't get this. Like, what was the point of this?
No, there was no
feature?
point to it. I don't think.
I didn't get it.
I
didn't
know
get
what
it.
I get what you're saying with that. I hope we're on the same page with this. My complaint, and I've said this to you about the Punisher, is I understand the storyline if they're doing it as a 1-2 season thing, but I didn't want them to bastardize it and turn it into every season we're just going to change the origin story and be, oh no, it was actually this guy that was involved in Frank's family being murdered. They were doing that a little bit. And I didn't like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and because I think the Punisher works best at like his origin doesn't even really matter. Like,
Because it's so well known.
and it should just be it was a random violence. And
Yes.
and that's why he's the Punisher, because it's just random.
Yes.
and it sucks.
Yes.
So like to keep making all these villains that like, oh, I secretly had a hand.
He
in
was
it too.
there. He was on the carousel as well.
Yeah. And it's about Afghanistan, and it's
Yeah.
about all this stuff. It's like no. It's random. It's a drive-by shooting.
Yeah.
Like
But now they're putting him in Spider-Man.
So this is the big
Yeah.
Easter egg.
But I don't like this.
Because Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Punisher, a lot of the comics they are in
Yes.
together.
right. The Punisher debuted in a Spider-Man comic, like
Which
I think is what they're doing.
they've all said no. Of course, they're going to say no. Because Spider-Man ends up in jail. Okay, they're also putting apparently Frank is in jail as well.
Not at the end of this.
I'm sorry, I'm ruining this. Daredevil is in jail at the end. That's what they said.
Okay.
They're going to all be in this
Together?
next movie. The other thing is also too.
I mean,
now,
yeah,
the big
I'll watch
rumor is
that.
if you look at the cut of they're doing another Easter egg. They're going to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it as well. How much? That's the thing with Marvel movies now. Are we just doing pop? We're going for pops all the time now,
Yeah.
and not the story anymore. But mind you, I rewatched Far From Home, and it is excellent. It's a really cool movie. But I don't want to not be able to enjoy Daredevil and Spider-Man being in the same movie because I also have to follow the storyline of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield again. you know?
Yeah.
Right. I just don't like how they're... Because Spider-Man's always light and comedic.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Punisher light and comedic.
No.
Or
Yeah.
Or you could look at it the positive way. Maybe we get a little darker version of Spider. We're not going to get that
No,
though.
I don't
It's
think so.
not.
Right.
They
Right.
said if he's in the Spider-Man movie, the violence is going to be nowhere near.
No, yeah, it can't be anything like what they just did.
I would love that. though.
Because the violence in this last
it's
thing
off
is
the charts.
is insane.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
couldn't believe that Disney did it, and
Yes.
like that was a big thing people would talk about if they would let Punisher be Punisher, and
Right.
they
Oh,
did
yeah.
in this. So maybe that's kind of be like, no, guys, we know what we're doing. Yeah, we're not going to go that far in Spider-Man, but just so you know, we're aware of what we're doing.
I don't
over
want a
here.
Punisher light. You're saying
Right.
essentially.
That's-
Yeah.
I don't want to see him joking around with Spider-Man with some bad puns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're fine with that with Spider-Man because that is Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't
Right.
need. Yeah.
And like Daredevil's like a dark and brooding character, so like he works with Punisher to like kind of bounce off each
Yeah.
other and stuff. I don't know what Spider-Man and Punisher bouncing off each other is going to be like.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Maybe Spider-Man's going to make one of his like his jokes that he does with like Tony Stark, and
I
then,
was
and
just
then,
gonna
and
say
then
that-
Frank Castle just sticks a gun in his face. Like that might
That
be
might-
worth watching. I don't know,
But that's probably the bit. Yeah.
but like,
I remember watching the original. One of my favorite fight scenes in a movie or TV show of all time is the original series on Netflix. You were I remember how impacted by it you were because you watched it before I did. We were doing the podcast. This was years ago, and you said, Christian, you have to watch the jail fight scene in this Punisher. And you said, I've never seen somebody stab somebody in the neck with a pencil, but if I did that, I remember you were so like,
you know what's funny? He stabbed somebody in the neck with a pencil in the new, the new movie too.
Yes.
Rob is a mark for getting stabbed in the neck with a pencil. But yeah, I mean, overall. All right, so can I watch this without watching Daredevil then?
Yeah, I watched
Totally.
it with that.
Standalone?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this tonight.
Frank's hanging out in the projects, and that's just how it starts.
Yep.
The one thing I think that I think they might be trying to get away from the family stuff with this, because there's a whole thing about like he doesn't really know what to be anymore,
Okay.
and then by the end, the one cop out is that it's the third time that it ends with him in the full Punisher getup.
Yeah.
And that's the third time that they've done that, where it's like, he's like, will I be, will I not be? So I can only imagine the next time we see him, he's going to be in a hoodie again and be like, well, maybe I'm not the Punisher anymore.
Right.
Like, because I just want to just wear the skull and do Punisher stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I've paid into this. And
I've been here for it for years now.
I agree.
the other thing I did want to mention to draw this to a close here, one of my friends, shout out to Brendan, who is an actor, he brought something to my attention, and I almost don't want to tell you guys because once somebody tells you it, you can't stop. It's like when somebody told you watch James Gandolfini breathe on The Sopranos, and then you can't stop not hearing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever noticed John Berthau's yup? So John Berthoud, whenever he's speaking, that's his like comfort word or his bridge word. And then he's sent me, like, people have done this on YouTube where they do his yup. He throws yup in. Yup, yup, yup into most of his and I never noticed it. We were watching me and my fiance were watching His and Hers, that crime drama they did on Netflix. He does it to excess, almost in love scenes. It's just yup, yup. It's his bridge word, but that is his James Gandolfini.
I've noticed with him, and I saw that, and that other one where he's a cop in Baltimore, like a crooked cop. I forget what it was called.
We Own the Night.
That was
fucking
it.
Amazing
Great.
show.
Loved it. Where he does a lot of, where he says, yeah, like and at the end of a sentence. You know what I'm talking about, yeah?
We're right there.
He
Yep,
does that a lot.
yep.
Yeah.
Usually yuppers or yeahs as well.
Okay. Wow.
That could be a whole topic, yuppers and yeahs.
So, do you know, has he ever done like a romantic movie?
Like a rom-com?
Yeah, because that's what I really want to see him do. Because like he's so intense, he's so like I want to seeing him like in the flashback scenes of him with like his wife in The Punisher. I really like. I just want to see what he'd be like.
I also want to know
Be,
what
like,
Tony's
soft
going to
and
Google
cuddly.
to find this out.
I just want
John Berthau's most sensitive role.
I'm just looking up his filmography to see.
look
I'm going to take you out. Yep.
I do want to see Dog Day Afternoon. You said your son saw that, right?
My son saw
I
it,
do
said
wanna
it
see
was fantastic.
Oh, there was a new one.
He's in the play.
Play.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is his most romantic role or sensitive role?
Is it
His and Hers was even that though. He goes on a fucking
the
rampage.
accountant when he's brothers with?
The sequel to that was all right. We talked about this before. While Tony's looking for this, me and Rob, one of our guilty pleasure movies is The Accountant because it's just so flawed and so funny. The second one, did you end up watching it?
No, I just added it to my watch list because
It's Rob. The Accountant was only funny if you were watching it like you or I were and like taking notes like, oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. The Accountant 2 is very much a buddy cop film.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing
in the best way possible. I enjoyed every minute of that piece of shit. It was so bad it was good, but I genuinely liked it. That might be it. Has he ever done a role where he hasn't murdered somebody? That's another thing.
I'm guessing he had. So in 2004, he was in Tony and Tina's Wedding, which is, I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I know the play, but
Tony
Right,
murders Tina.
Right, does someone get murdered in that?
He has to get Tony back.
he was in a movie called The Air That I Breathe. That just sounds rom-com.
Yeah.
He was in a movie called Date Night.
All right.
So I'm thinking that he. I don't know all these
Right,
movies.
But post Walking Dead, I don't think there's anything. Could you see it from there on?
What? Well, I'm just looking at film. So that, what year was The Walking
2009?
Dead? 2010 through 12. Then he came back in 18 and 22.
See how good I am?
I have to go back and watch Date Night because I think it's Tina Fey and.
Oh, is that Tina Fey and Steve Carell?
Yes,
where
that is it.
They go out and they're having their date night. So I imagine John Bernthal plays some kind of street tough that bothers them.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm obsessed with that movie. It's so strange.
That is so weird. You found that movie and it's one of Rob's gems. That's one of your guilty pleasure movies as well.
Yeah, it just fascinates me. The premise is
Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. I've never heard of it, but they sound like they could be like Hallmark movies.
These could be at this point. Yeah.
I would love to see him in a Hallmark movie.
Yup. Yeah. Yup. Yeah.
Oh, the Peanut Butter Falcon. I forgot he was in that. Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, with Shia LaBeouf. Yeah.
Great.
They're best friends, which is. Can
yeah.
you imagine
Bernthal?
Bernthal and Shia?
Wait, really?
Because they were in Fury together, and
Fury,
they were
that's what it was.
yeah.
And John Berthel's like, this guy gets it.
I'm gonna shout.
Have you
This
ever
guy's
seen-
intense.
You ever seen the interviews that he
Yes.
does? He's like,
Shout out to a great John Bertha's podcast, also too, the real ones. That interview with him and Shia is absolutely amazing. I love Shia LaBeouf as an actor, and I get somebody who's he's very flawed, but like his work is just like anytime I see a Shia LaBeouf movie, I've seen him in bad movies that he's still exceptional in.
I think he's always good in them.
Yeah. Well, to draw this to a yup and a yeah and a close, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Tony, for coming on. And
Thank
please
you.
chime in all of our episodes
Yeah.
whenever you want. You are the third wheel here.
Thank you.
Absolutely love you. Yes, and we will also be on, Tony, can we give a shout out for your show as well?
Absolutely.
When are we going to be on? I don't even know.
Is it this Monday? The
this,
first?
this Monday the 1st?
That's definite? Okay, cool.
Yeah. What time is that show at?
It's the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show. It's on from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Awesome. Well, Rob, do you want to send him off?
Yeah. See you later, kiddo.
See you later, pal.
Hang on. Okay.